In an age where mutual respect hangs on the edge, a dangerous challenge looms. A challenge that shakes the very core of human dignity and societal harmony. The burning of the Quran. This act, veiled under the guise of freedom of expression, exposes a glaring hypocrisy in societies that claim to champion liberty. Acts like burning the Quran are celebrated under the guise of liberty. Yet the strong responses of Muslims are condemned. This double standard undermines the very essence of free expression, revealing a troubling imbalance. One form of expression, designed to provoke, degrade, and spread hatred, is protected, while another, the defense of sacred beliefs, is condemned. Muslims respond not to the destruction of paper, but to the malicious intent behind such acts. An intent aimed at spreading division and hostility. This raises a pressing question. Is freedom being protected, or is it being weaponized to justify hatred? As long as non-Muslims, particularly Westerners, including white supremacists, harbor the mentality of "I am right, you are wrong, I am smart, you are dumb, I am big, you are small," this issue will remain unresolved. Such a mindset fuels division and perpetuates a toxic dynamic, one that blocks the path to resolution. This issue is further compounded by how white supremacists, atheists, and many Westerners consistently disregard Muslims, dismissing them as intolerant because they refuse to tolerate the questioning of their faith. Yet this assumption reveals a fundamental misunderstanding. Muslims do not object to sincere questions or intellectual debates about their beliefs. What they will never tolerate, however, is mockery of their faith. Questioning and mocking are not the same, and the deliberate conflation of the two undermines any hope for constructive dialogue. The way forward lies in mutual dialogue, mutual respect, and involving both Muslims and non-Muslims, Westerners, including those with supremacist attitudes, in careful deliberation over freedom of expression. It is crucial to understand that being a Muslim is not tied to any ethnicity or nationality. Islam is a faith, a belief system that transcends racial, ethnic, and geographic boundaries. Anyone, regardless of their background, can embrace this faith, and as a result, Muslims are present in every corner of the world. The idea of excluding or banning Muslims from any society is fundamentally flawed. Islam is not confined by borders or physical spaces. It is a global reality that thrives in the digital age. Through social media and modern technology, Islam enters homes and is accessible on smartphones, crossing barriers that no law or policy can contain. This makes the notion of erasing or isolating Muslims not only illogical, but impossible. While the act of burning papers in itself might not concern me, burning papers inscribed with the Quran carries profound significance, especially when done publicly. Such an act cannot be divorced from its malicious intent, aimed at provoking and spreading hatred. It is this intent not merely the destruction of physical pages, that I vehemently condemn as a Muslim. Similarly, while I condemn the manner in which some Muslims react to these provocations, I cannot and will not condemn the reason behind their reaction. The emotional and spiritual pain that drives such responses is rooted in the deep offense caused by deliberate desecration of what they hold sacred. The burning of the Quran is no mere act of destruction. It is a deliberate provocation, an assault on faith itself, and a calculated attempt to fracture communities. The Quran, the divine word of Allah, transcends its physical form. It lives in the hearts of believers in their recitations and across generations. No fire can erase what is eternal and untouchable by evil. Yet the intent behind such acts cannot be ignored. It seeks to dishonor the sacred and disrupt harmony. A mouse nibbling on pages or an animal consuming a physical Quran carries no intent to harm. Their actions are devoid of intent. But when hands deliberately set the Quran on fire, the act is charged with harmful intent. Muslims respond to this darkness, recognizing the evil intent aimed at insulting and dishonoring their faith and creating conflict. The holiness of the Quran lies not in ink and paper, but in the divine message, preserved by Allah and safeguarded in the hearts of believers. Muslims do not reject questions, healthy discussions, or confusions about Islam. These are welcomed as part of intellectual exchange. However, they draw the line at acts of mockery and disrespect, particularly toward the Quran and Prophet Muhammad. This distinction is critical. The sanctity of their faith is not a barrier to discussion, but a boundary against deliberate dishonor. The same reverence Muslims hold for the Quran extends to Prophet Muhammad, whose honor is central to their beliefs. Historical debates, intellectual inquiries, and even sincere doubts are embraced as opportunities for understanding. But mockery and insults directed at the Prophet cross a line that Muslims cannot tolerate. This is not about silencing differing views, but about preserving the purity of faith and ensuring respect for what is sacred. The normalization of religious mockery in some circles, especially in the treatment of Christianity, provides a stark contrast. Over time, the failure to defend the sanctity of figures like Jesus and the Bible has led to their dilution. As Christianity lost its original purity, mockery of Jesus and the Bible became commonplace, and the faith has strayed from its original form. This is a result of a lack of defense for what is sacred. No lines were drawn to protect the sanctity of these beliefs, leading to their distortion. Islam, by contrast, remains unshaken, with Muslims standing firm in defense of what is sacred and true, ensuring that neither the Quran nor Prophet Muhammad is dishonored or disrespected. Muslims' unwavering defense of the Quran reflects their deep commitment to their faith. As Allah promises in Surah Al-Hijr 15:9, "Indeed, it is we who sent down the Quran, and indeed, we will be its guardian." This divine preservation extends beyond physical copies, enduring in memory, practice, and the spiritual lives of Muslims. Even if every physical Qur'an were destroyed, its message would remain unshaken, eternal, recited and memorized by millions. This resilience underscores the sacredness of Islam, immune to the forces of desecration. Muslims' reaction to such provocations is not a rejection of freedom, but a demand for its responsible exercise, one that upholds mutual respect and shared dignity. Respect for deeply held beliefs is not a limitation of freedom, but a cornerstone of coexistence. And ignoring this threatens the fabric of diverse societies. It is not only Muslims, but all of humanity that must stand against the malicious intent behind such acts, recognizing that tolerance and respect are essential for harmony. A resolution cannot be achieved through attempts to exclude or marginalize Muslims. The only viable path is open dialogue, where both sides engage in discussions that foster understanding and develop solutions that are mutually acceptable. Recognizing the permanence and universality of Islam is essential for building societies that respect freedom of belief while maintaining harmony. Only by embracing inclusivity and constructive dialogue can true progress be made.